birthday dinner. I got that. Enchilada sauce, tortillas, fire's going. Here we go. Yeah, damn. Chicken, olives, onions, sauce. Well, it's a happy birthday for me. I got my box, so gonna go ahead and open it up. This should be the leather gloves, and my stuff. So, thanks to my dad. FedEx overnighted, or Amazon overnighted me this, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so thanks to my dad giving me a little more extra money, so I got a couple extra things. One, the Nightmare series on Blu-ray. The book, Nightmare on Elm Street. This is a making of. Wow, that's really neat. I'll have to show you guys that. Oh yeah, and the gloves. Wow, that really is the gloves. I'll have to open these up and give you guys a close up of these gloves. Oh. Actually, let me give you guys a close up of this stuff here. There they are. 1 dozen pair. Well, I'm glad. I think I did get the large. I'm pretty sure. I'm glad I did because they're kind of small. Yeah, I'm glad I got the large because they are kind of small gloves. This is what makes it all right here. Leather tab. Guys, well, it's nighttime. Yeah. Today was kind of busy for me, but this is a nice little moment I got, just kind of alone, and yes. And you know what I'm doing, right? Working on a Freddy glove. It's my birthday. That's right now what I enjoy doing. So check it out. I aged a glove. Man, I really am happy with these gloves. Thank you, Dad. Man, he's super cool. He's always been there for me. So, got the leather tabs. So, yeah. Ball and tape. These are, again, the Westchester gloves. I'm glad I got the large because, again, I think I mentioned it. They're not a very large, and I don't have the biggest hands, so, but they do work. So, get this. Oops. So how I aged that again is with the leather dye or leather paint and alcohol. So the alcohol helps spread it out. But I like the way this looks already. Just real dirty, real nasty looking. I love, this is my favorite part of this whole project. I love distressing things. I love making that things look good. Now, see, what I found out is when it comes to this leather, all the imperfections or all the, you can see it here. I don't know how well it shows up on the camera, but when you use the alcohol, it helps spread it to all, in the creases, and really makes the glove look literally like it's been in somebody's, workshop or work shed for a long time, been used many times. So that's what you want. And that's what the alcohol does when you mix it with this right here. So the leather paint that I painted my boots with. So that actually, because I got my boots done, which turned out really good. I like them. And you know, this is good stuff to have. I tell you, I'm learning more and more of, like, things that I want to keep in my inventory, which is like leather paint, leather dye, those boot polish, wood stain. All these things really come to aid in distressing and aging things. Got myself some root beer, right? Alright, so waiting for the back plate to cool down so I can punch the holes through it. I annealed it so that the hole puncher goes through easily. Just, oh damn, that acid from the flux, man. I was joking around with Cody and I said, what does the flux do to your hands? He says, it heals your cuts. Hey guy, hopefully he's getting better. He actually felt a little sick that night. I think some of you pointed that out, that he may have looked a little down. He kind of was, but I wish him well. I hope he recovers, because he's just been getting slammed with being sick all the time. But I know what he went through, you know. Just can imagine, you know, having staph infection, taking antibiotics, his immune system was just trashed, and then getting the flu and pneumonia, and then, you know, he may be coming down. But because the fog has been really bad these last few days, I usually don't get affected too bad, but man, I definitely, the coughing and the just phlegm and stuff. So I guess you don't really notice it until, I guess, you get older, right? There we go. Just completed this one right now. Of course, I've had it mostly done. Just had to make a couple of, attach a couple of blades, put the ringlets on. I was just dying to try out the new gloves. So this is a little bit of a part 1 glove, kind of a repro that I've done. The finger stalls, this is the first glove I've done here with the new templates that I've altered. The finger stalls are a lot longer. This one here, the fingers are a little longer. And then of course the blades are a little bit shorter. I did not make the blades quite as long. Also, they're attached, I don't know if you can see that. So there were some things also I wanted to do, was just like add this larger rivet here. Of course, I'm gonna have to paint this ball red, like like it's supposed to be. And yeah, just adding some other things. So here, I'll give you a better look at it. So the fingers, the blades actually go all the way to the ridge, that little cutout, so you can see they're pretty much almost flush against the fingertips. This really does help give the glove a nice touch like that. So I'll do a little bit more darkening around here. The rest of the glove looks pretty good. Aged a little bit more. I had to enlarge this ringlet here. I removed the old one and put this one, a larger one, on there. I did learn that making a little bit bigger ringlets is important, even though it seems a little goofy when you're doing it, but you really do need them bigger. Of course, the simulated, or not simulated, the actual blade break. This one here, I did actually cut the blade and then resolder it on, very much like how they originally did. And has some interesting holes right there, right? Similar to like the other one. So, back plate is that 2-inch copper pipe, really well aged. Hopefully the fingers will catch up to the aging. So yeah, first glove out of the new templates and new gloves on my birthday. How about that? I get to use my file set a little bit, the new ones I bought. So, and you notice they are chalked. Yeah, bought my chalk. Ironically, you can't find chalk anymore for chalkboards and for schools in the stores anymore. I guess they don't much use that. So I had to buy some sidewalk chalk. But I learned to use chalk on the files from an old gunsmith. He told me about that. So it helps kind of not get the files all clogged up. Well, that's going to be it. Going to close things out. So I got here's that book I got. I really wanted to read this. I find the Nightmare on Elm Street, the story on how they created everything, more interesting than the actual movies themselves. I don't know what it is about it, but it really grabs me. Plus, growing up, I'm watching the films, but I find it just how everything came about. You know, how Wes Craven thought of the idea, and the only guy that really truly believed it is producer Robert Shaye. And that just found out all that really interesting. The covers of this book is really cool. It has this really neat bed sequence. Obviously, Freddy and everything happening. So it's really intricate artwork there, featuring a lot of things from the movie. Robert Shaye was the only guy that from New Line, or not in general, that actually believed in the script. There's Robert Shaye. So it's got a little preface by him, forward by Wes Craven himself. Unfortunately, Wes Craven passed away in 2015, which is, and there you got the nice memorial memory page for him, kind of a thing. So again, I really, I have the DVD, Never Sleep Again, and it's about 4 hours of really cool information about the movie, the series. Really, and what I like the best about it is Robert Englund himself, the guy that played Freddy Krueger. He is so thankful. You know, he never forgets that what Freddy Krueger did for him, and it really, the movie itself built New Line Cinema. So without it, they say, you know, we don't know where it would have been, because they were just a company that operated out of Robert Shaye's car, and they had like rights to like Reefer Madness and stuff. So of course, the most interesting page of the book so far, which I can't wait to get to, which I just sneaked and looked through it, is the whole thing about building the glove right there. I can't wait to read that section. There's the guy that built it, Lou Carlucci. Just amazing. Really can't wait to dive into this book. It's really chocked full of all kinds of cool. I didn't really realize that it had pictures in it. I did not realize that. I thought it was just, so that just makes it really cool to see a lot of cool old pictures. So, all right, before I get out of here, by the way, I always liked Wes Craven. His stuff is just amazing. I always found that just if you think about the concepts of what he was, for instance, the one that stands out is The Hills Have Eyes. This movie is absolutely just, to me, totally cringing. Like, if you think about, of course, by today's standards, nobody even finds this. You know, people would laugh at it probably, but for me, it's different, because I love movies from the time that this came out. This came out in 1977. Really bizarre movie. I always look at it this way. I use this as a great example. Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro. When that movie came out, with Martin Scorsese directing it, nobody ever saw something like that. That was a really deep, dark, depressing movie with a culmination that was like, whoa. Nobody saw that kind of intense sequences of, for instance, all the violence and the special effects. Nobody saw stuff like that. The Exorcist, when people went to go see that, it just, it amazed people. It shocked the heck out of the nation. Just stuff like that. You just don't, for me, it's always like thinking, I always put myself in that position, like, man, if I was sitting there in 1970s watching this, you can just think, of course, it's just like what we have out now. Like, I don't even pay attention to it. Like, all the new stuff that comes out is like, whatever, I'll just go back and watch something that from the back in the good days, or whatever you want to call it. So, anyway, speaking of all that, I'm gonna talk about a movie, one of my favorite movies, and it was a total, like, it caught me by surprise. I was in Target one day, saw it was like $5, and I said, what? I didn't even know they did this. So I had to buy it. Anyway, The French Connection 2. Gene Hackman. This is directed by, let's see, with the John Frankenheimer, which really good director. This is an awesome movie, and the guy that plays, let's see if I think his name is Bernard Friesen. The guy that plays, what's his name? I can't even think of his name now. It's the detective that Gene Hackman goes to see in France. So if you haven't seen The French Connection 2, of course it's not quite as good as the first one, but it's good in its own way. It's totally just different from the first French Connection. It really is. It's a whole new movie in itself. What I like about this is you almost can watch this without even seeing the first one. But if you've seen the first one, it helps you understand Popeye Doyle, the character that is portrayed by Gene Hackman. But he goes to France trying to find that guy that did all the drug trade and everything. That is played by, ironically, it's played by a Spanish guy, Fernando Rey. He's going after him. And the movie is just filled with just cool little things. My favorite scene is when he goes to the bar and he goes to the guy and he says, "What do you want?" Or I guess guys like, "Oh, nobody's they don't speak English." So he says, "Give me 4 roses, straight up, water on the side." Yeah, he goes, he's like, 4 roses, straight up, water on the side. Kind of like so he sits there and he goes, he's going through all this stuff like trying to bourbon, what he wants, but he can't get it. So finally he gets his drink and everything, and so it's really neat to see all those added things, and what they do to him, and then he's like interrogating one of the guys, and he's sitting there, he's like, "You have no idea what I'm saying, do you?" And the guy's just laughing because he doesn't know what he's saying. He says something like, he's like, "See, we're gonna take your arms, we're gonna stretch them over the curve, and we're gonna jump up and down on them." And the guy's laughing because, "Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?" He's like, he goes, your knees, we're gonna make oatmeal out of your knees," and you're just like, what, And then the guy brings him lunch, and he's like, "Look at this thing." He goes, "You cremated it, and where's the mayonnaise?" And he goes, like, "What, mayonnaise?" And he's like, "Yeah, mayonnaise, And he's like, and the relish, and so it's like, it's funny. It's a great movie in itself because it's neat, and I also like to see how he gets his gun in there. Is he slits a section of his suitcase open, he stuffs it in there with his bullets. That's also really cool when you see him in his hotel room and he finally gets it out and straps it to his ankle and everything. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, and also the other scene I really like is right off in the beginning. They're cleaning out all these fish because somebody had played a prank on them, and they told them that there was drugs stuffed in the fish, so they're all going through the fish, and the guy reaches over and shakes Gene Hackman's hand, and of course he's got all this fish guts and stuff all over his hand, and he just like purposely, the one guy is like really reluctant to shake his hand, and he just grabs his hand like this, and he's like, just really squeezes it in there. So and that always stood out to me. But anyway, that's it. That's my birthday, and I'm really thankful for all of you to have joined me in it, and it's been a lot of fun. And of course, Thanksgiving is coming around the corner. I'm definitely going to see if I can take some time off, possibly during Thanksgiving and Christmas, just because I want to take a little time off and enjoy the holidays with the family and everything. So, but I appreciate you guys being here today with me, and and that's it. Thanks for watching.